Hello everyone, hello. Okay, welcome again to a new segment of our classes, all right? So this time around, I'm so sorry, because of the pandemic, we can't have a large number of people in this class. So we decided to launch online. Anyways, it's nothing to worry about. We really have to study, so we just keep studying, okay? There's nothing to worry about. I promise you this class is going to be very fun. Of course, you know who I am. I am your teacher, Kelvin teacher, all right? So this class is for 6:30 to 7:20 student, pre-advanced. Of course, you know your textbook. That's the textbook we're going to be studying with. And the main aim of this class is writing and speaking. Writing and speaking, all right? And then remember, our vocabularies are going to be related to the vocabularies in the textbook. All right. So today we will be doing a new lesson, and that's topic 10. We'll be doing topic 10. All right. But before we do topic 10, remember, okay, before we do topic 10, let's refresh back. Let's go back a little bit to what we did at the last topic. And the last topic was topic 9, and the question in this topic is, do you think advertising works well for electronics? That was the topic, and it was a huge one, and we sorted that out in our classes. What did we talk about? Remember, this topic had two keywords, which was advertising and electronics, okay? So first, what we did was to define the keywords, all right? The first question was what is advertising, and the second one was what is electronics. And we went ahead to say that advertising is simply creating awareness to make people buy goods and services. Creating awareness. Now for this creation of awareness, remember we said you can't use a gun to make someone buy your product, okay? It's just creating funful awareness or fun awareness or funny awareness, or just doing something to make people buy your goods and services. And we also said that most products are not good, but the companies still advertise so that people can buy it. And secondly, we also talked about that for advertising, the two things involved are goods and services. So you advertise for your goods or for your service, all right? And we said goods are the things we can see and touch. The things we can see and touch. All right, so that's products, that's goods. All right, so for example, cell phones, we can see our cell phones and we can touch it. The mic, you can see it and you can touch it. This cap, you can see it and you can touch it. Even the mask that we wear, we can see it and we can touch it. So all of these things are products. Goods. Now let's talk about service. We also in that class talked about what service is all about. We say service are the things we cannot see and we cannot touch it. For example, Kelvin teacher, I am rendering service, right? I'm teaching. Can you see my words? No. Can you touch my words? No. That is service, okay? And then we went ahead to list different kinds of electronics. We talked about air conditioning system, the TVs, the cell phones, the microphones, the speakers, the vacuum cleaners, the refrigerators, everything are electronics. Now the big question is, can we see electronics? Yes. Can we touch it? Yes. So do advertising works well for it? Yes. And then how does it work well? That was what we did in that lesson. So today we are going to do chapter 10. Wow, interesting. Chapter 10. Please open your books to chapter 10. And in this chapter, the topic is how can we improve our presentation skill? How can we improve our presentation skill? So once again, we are going to be defining the keywords, okay? And what is the keywords? The first keyword in this topic is presentation. Presentation. That's a big question. Now the big question is, what is presentation? And then from my little research, we can view or define presentation into two ways. Number one, the giving of something to someone, especially as part of a formal ceremony, like presentation of awards and certificates. So presentation can be giving award, all right, presenting something to someone, formal awards, formal certificates. When you complete a series, people give you award, people give you certificates, okay? That is presentation. And then the second segment of what presentation is what we are really interested in, and that's what I'm going to say right now. Please listen very well. The second segment is a presentation is a speech or talk in which a new product, ideas, or piece of work is shown and explained in details to an audience. I'm going to go over it one more time, and I'm going to go slowly. What is presentation in the context that we are studying today? All right, in today's class context, a presentation is a speech, or talk. When you speak, you're talking, right? In which a new product, new idea, fresh ideas, or a piece of work, all right, is shown and explained in details to an audience. For example, sales presentation or classroom presentation, okay, or any other kind of presentation, or PPT presentation, PowerPoint presentation, okay? So all of these things are presentation. It has to involve speaking and talking to an audience. Who's an audience? Audience are people listening to what you have to say, okay? So in this context, that is what we're going to study today. So remember, presentation talks about speaking and talking, all right? So now let's go back to our book. How can we improve our presentation? How can we improve our presentation? For today's lesson, I'm going to tell you 8 formidable ways on how to improve your presentation. 8 ways to improve your presentation. Number 1, you have to practice naturally. Practice naturally. What does it mean to practice naturally? Okay? You have to practice not to be like someone else. You have to practice to be original like yourself. All right? Practice naturally. And then the second point is transform your nervous energy into enthusiasm. Transform your nervous energy into enthusiasm. Now, what is nervous? Nervous is when you are scared. So usually, I know a lot of people cannot do presentations. A lot of people cannot stand in front of people to talk. So what do you have to do? You have to transform your fears into passion. So when you have a passion to do something, you don't get scared about it. You're not scared, right? If you have passion for singing, you can stand anywhere to sing. If you have passion for teaching, like me, you can stay anywhere to teach. Right? Like right now, there are no classes, there are no people here, but I am still teaching you, right? So if you have passion, you have to transform your fears into your passion. Number 3, attend other presentation. How do you improve your presentational skill? You have to go to different other presentations to watch how people do presentations. It's very important. Okay? There's a very famous English saying, it says, Rome was not built in one day. So you have to watch how people do presentations to become better. Number 4, you need to arrive early at the presentation venue. All right? You need to arrive early. Okay? You have to go early at the presentation venue so you can calm your nerves, take a rest, take a deep breath before the presentation. Number 5, adjust to your surrounding. Of course, when you arrive early, you adjust to your surrounding. You calm yourself down. adjust to your surroundings. So let's say, for example, you have to sing in front of 5,000 crowd. If you arrive early, you already have seen the crowd. Yeah. So back to what I was saying. The fourth thing to do, or the first ways to improve your presentational skill, is arriving early at the place of presentation. When we arrive early, of course, when you arrive early, you've seen the crowd already. Okay, let's say if it's a crowd of 5,000 people, you've seen them already. Okay, you arrive early and you get used to the crowd. And when you get used to the crowd, it's going to be pretty easy for you to make presentation. Number 5, adjust to your surroundings. All right, adjusting to your surrounding is arriving early and then you adjust to your surrounding. Okay, get comfortable with the crowd, get comfortable with the surrounding, get comfortable with your stage, know how to position yourself, know the kind of right gestures, the hand gestures you have to use. That's it. And then number 6, meet and greet. When you arrive early, you got used to your surroundings or adjust to your surroundings. The next thing you do is to greet people around you. Now, these greetings help you to calm your nerves. It helps you to cool off. All right, it helps you to interact with people and become more used to the number of people who will be listening to you. So you meet and you greet people. Like hi, hello, all of that. And number 7 is use positive visualization. Use positive visualization. I'll say that again. Use positive visualization. So your visualization has to be positive, all right? You have to look at your audience positively. Look at your audience positively. Don't think, oh, they're gonna stone you, or they're gonna hit you, or they're gonna beat you up. No. Your audience are there to receive what you have to present to them. So you have to use positive visualization. And then the last but not the least, number 8, you could make research and find out more, is remember that most audiences are sympathetic. I'll use that word again, sympathetic. Sympathetic means your audience feel for you. Some of them cannot do what you're doing, so they are like, oh, he's so good. Oh, he's so handsome. Oh, she's pretty. Oh, she speaks very well. All right, so your audience are sympathetic. So you have to remember that. Keep that at the back of your mind. Don't think they're there to bring you down, all right? Because they came to listen to your presentation, all right? They came to get resource from what you have to give. So that's what it is. That is how to improve your presentational skill, okay? Next, let's move on to warm-up. Warm-up, okay? Warm-up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 things you have to fill out on your warm-up sheet, okay? The first thing you have to fill out is, how do you present yourself? That's a big question. How do you present yourself? How do you present yourself? So, if I ask every one of you, how do you present yourself? That's how we do it in our classes, remember. So, I'll ask you again, how do you present yourself? All right, so there are a couple of ways you can present yourself, and I'll tell you ways, all right? Number 1, you have to record yourself. This I do so much. I do this often, all right? You have to record yourself, with your phone. You just do a demo recording, all right? So you could do a demo recording standing in front of the mirror and talking back at yourself, right? That's how to present yourself. When you do that, you're presenting yourself to yourself. And then if you get accepted by yourself, then you can get accepted by people, all right? So number 1, record yourself, or do a demo standing in front of a mirror, Or the last part is you could also rehearse with your family. Rehearsal means you can practice with your family or your friends. Okay, that's number 1 on how you can present yourself. Second, be confident and comfortable. Be confident and comfortable. Okay, you can't do presentation without confidence. No way. It doesn't work. All right. So you have to be confident in yourself, and you have to be very comfortable. Don't feel tense. Don't feel nervous. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. You have to build your confidence. Okay. That's number 2. And number 3 is dressing properly for your presentation. Okay. So for every presentation, you have to dress properly. Okay, there's a famous saying that says, dress the way you have to be addressed. So you have to dress properly so that when you walk up to the stage, people would look at you, oh, he's a professional. He's a professional presenter. Okay, so that's how to present yourself. Second question is, what are some differences between talking casually and doing a performance? What are some differences between talking casually and doing a performance? So we could also classify presentations as performance. Okay? Yes, of course. So when you do presentation, you're performing. It could be song presentation, which is singing. It could be document presentation, doing document presentation with your PowerPoint, which is PPT. And you could also do craft presentation, just showing people what you can do. So that's a big question. Second big question. It says, what are some differences between talking casually? Talking casually means just having conversation, okay? And doing a performance or doing a presentation. Now, for that, I'm going to teach you a few ways to do that, okay? Number 1, casual talking or talking casually has no time limit. I'll say that again. Talking casually has no time limit. So let's say, for example, you have to hang out at a coffee shop with your friends. Okay, you can, or hang out with your friends at a restaurant. You don't have time limit. You don't care about the time. So you can just keep talking, having conversation, and then for as much as you are willing to do it. All right. So talking casually or having a casual talking have no time limit, whereas a performance have a time limit, a time frame. Okay, a performance have a time frame, a presentation have a time frame, but talking casually has no time frame. That's number 1 differences. Number 2 differences between these two is talking casually is just talking casually is just an informal conversation. Informal means that it's not formal. So meaning you can switch from one topic. You can switch talking about your brother to talking about your mom, to talking about school, to talking about everything. So you can switch in between topics. So it's informal. Just like when you have to write your informal letters or informal essays. All right? So it's informal. All right? So you don't have to be constrained about one particular thing to talk about. All right? So casual talking, it's informal. Okay? Whereas presentation, on the other hand, is formal. It's formal. Presentation is formal. All right. So if you are doing a presentation, you have to stay within the scope of your presentation. You have to stay within the context of your presentation. Okay. Remember, number 1 is time limit. Number 2 is formal and informal. Okay. That's the differences. And the third one I have to give you is presentation have audience. All right. So audience means group of people gather together to listen to you. All right. So a lot of people can make up an audience, but talking casually or casual talking can just be between you and your friend, you and one person. Okay. So these are the differences. And then the next question is, do you change your style of speech? Now for this question, I would stick to what I know. You can decide, okay? It's your choice. So for me, I do not change my style of speech because I want to be original. I want to be Kelvin Teacher. I don't want to be someone else. No. No, I never want to be someone else. So I advise you to Stick to what you know, stick to you, stick to yourself. So I think people should be natural and be themselves. Don't imitate someone else. Don't try to be someone else. Okay? Just improve on yourself and be the better version of yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Okay? Thank you. We got that. All right. And the last question there is, what do good public speakers do? How can we learn from them? What do good public speakers do and how can we learn from them? Number one, public speakers prepare speaking. They prepare speaking notes. So they write notes. Just like me, I wrote down notes, okay, of what I have to do. So public speakers prepare speaking notes. Public speakers practice the presentation. They practice their presentation. They don't just jump up on the stage and start doing presentation, okay? They have to practice, okay? And then public speakers plan, they research, and they organize their content. They plan, they research, and they organize their content. And the last thing public speakers does is they deliver the presentation and they expect feedback. So in this form of questions, these things I've said is what you have to write down, okay? Write down in your own words. Thank you. Then, before we round up, we're going to be looking at the vocabularies, okay? And for the vocabularies, we have speech. That's the first word, speech. And I say speech is an expression of feelings through speaking. The speech is an expression of feeling, how you feel through speaking. And the second one is tone. What is tone? A tone is a vocal sound expressing quality and strength. Vocal sound expressing quality and strength. Sometimes tone also express passion. Passion. Like some people, when they are telling you about their story, they start crying. That's passion. They are passionate about what they are saying. All right. The next one is inflection. Inflection is a change in the form of a word. A change in the form of a word. And the next one is intonation. Intonation is a rise and fall of the voice while speaking. A rise and fall of your voice while speaking. Okay? What are you doing? What are you doing? So a rise and a fall of your voice while speaking. That's what we call intonation. And the next vocabulary there is mood. What's your mood? Mood is, or what's a mood? Mood is temporary state of mind or feeling. Okay? Temporary state of mind. So no one feels the same way all the time. Sometimes you feel excited, sometimes you feel happy, sometimes you feel gloomy, sometimes you feel sad. So mood is temporary state. It's temporal because sometimes it could change, sometimes it could go back to normal, sometimes like that. That's what mood is. And then the last one is communication. No, second to the last one. Communication simply means sending or receiving information. Sending or receiving information. That's what communication is. And then the last but not the least is style. What is style? Style is a manner or process of doing something. Style is a manner or process of doing something. So that's where we'll base our study today, and I hope to see you in our next class. But before that, please check your website. Check the website, the company's website. I already uploaded your homework, and then your homework is brainstorming. So the page for brainstorming and the pre-writing page. That's the next page. Okay? That's your homework. See you in our next class, and do have a good evening. Goodbye.